Okay, welcome to our Holy Family Catholic School February edition of our newsletter. Today I'm joined with some of our great students here at the school. I'm just going to go around the table. Maybe you can tell us who you are.
Luga, Caleb, Bronson, Caleb, Kyla. I am Nevaeh. I'm Paul. I'm Chloe.
Can you tell us what you're doing in Miss Hibachi's classroom? What are you
More or
learning?
less.
You're learning about more and less? Okay, that's great. Kayla, what are you learning about?
Police officers. And I'm already a police officer.
What are you learning about police officers?
Well, actually, I'm already a police officer.
What are you learning about, though?
Well, I'm a police officer in training.
Okay. And do you have a special guest that is coming to your classroom?
Yes.
Who is coming to your class? Remember her name? Officer?
Officer Kelly.
Officer Kelly's going to come in and what is she going to talk about?
Police officers.
And some of the things that they do and how they're community helpers? Okay, that's great. Bretson.
And actually, I drive a control car.
Bretson, can you tell us what is happening in Mrs. Ellsworth's grade 1 class?
Projects where when we have an English woman without snowing, we've been counting backwards by 20s.
Very good. Lots of great things happening. And Caleb, what's happening in Mrs. Brenda
We've
Campbell's?
been working on Mrs. Brenda Campbell's class. Some of the grade 2 students in our class will be making their first reconciliation on Wednesday, February 17th. We have been learning about stories of Jesus and about how God loves us even when we do not wrong. We always want to make things right with God. We are also going to learn about solids, liquids, and gases. We will do experiments to find out about what makes something a solid, liquid, or gas.
Hey, that's great. Thanks, Caleb. Can you tell us what's happening in Mr. Gibson's class?
We're learning about area and perimeter. I have something to show you. The perimeter is the outside and the area is the inside. The area is 9 centimeters square and the perimeter is 16 centimeters. When I add the block here, the area becomes bigger. The area is 10 centimeters square now. It got bigger and the perimeter is now 18 centimeters. When I add the block here, the area gets higher. The area is 10 centimeters square now. And the perimeter stays the same. The perimeter was 16 and it stayed 16. I changed the shape so I could reduce the perimeter. The perimeter is 18 centimeters and the area is 8 centimeters square. When I add the block here, the area becomes 9 centimeters square. Perimeter goes down to 16 centimeters square.
Can you tell us what's happening in Mrs. Earl's grade 3-4 classroom?
We are learning about parallel lines and how the shapes are equal sides and how they have parallelograms. How they all have parallelograms.
Thanks, Glenn. Nevaeh, can you tell us what's happening in the grade 4-5 classroom and maybe your French room as well?
So in our French classroom, we are learning about the directions, and in our class, Ms. Latanzio's class, we are learning all about fractions and decimals.
Great, thank you. Paul, can you tell us what's happening in the grade 5-6 room in Mrs. Berry's class?
In our grade 5-6 room, we are working on biodiversity. I have a presentation here from the grade 5-6 room that I made using Microsoft PowerPoint Online.
That's great, thank you, Paul. And Carly,
Check out my YouTube channel.
okay, Carly, can you tell us what's happening in the grade 5-6 room in Mrs. Berry?
Well, basically, the grade 6s have been staying with Miss Berry, and the grade 5s, like me, have been with Miss Megan, and we've been working on body systems. Everyone has their own. Some people are working on the same one, and I'm working on muscular, and this is a muscular system of an athlete.
That's great, thank you. And Jamie, can you tell us what's happening in the grade 7-8 classroom?
In Mr. Leduc's class, our main study right now is in history. We're learning about Confederation and how Canada became one country.
Okay, so that's it. Lots of great things happening here at Holy Family Catholic School. Before we go, we would like to wish Mrs. Goodrow all the best with the birth of her baby, and we look forward to seeing her when she returns next year. Please come back and join us in March for our March newsletter.